Hi, my name is Meredith Taylor, and I'm here to explain why socialism is bad for America. Socialism has never worked. It has been failed in every country in which it's been tried. Yet many Americans are so enamored with the ideas and philosophies it brings. In fact, many of our government officials, leaders, and philosophers want to bring it to our society today. The idea behind socialism is that the people pay taxes and the government will fairly provide its citizens with the things they need. The truth is that socialism is bad for America because of the loss of individual freedom, removal of incentives, and the government control over all economic output. The first way in which socialism is bad for us is through the loss of individual freedom. Here in the U.S., we've been granted the right to the pursuit of happiness as it states in the U.S. Constitution. If we conform to a socialist society, the pursuit to our own happiness would be stripped away. For example, today in the U.S., people can spend money earned from a job on items that they deem important to them. It could be food, clothing, shelter, music, anything of the sort. In a socialist society, that would not be the case. After taxes, individuals may only be able to afford food and or clothing. There would be no money to spend on leisurely activities or desires. High taxes paid to the government would be spent on a public park, public transportation, or any number of things that the government decides is important. According to Sterling Terrell in the article, 3 reasons why socialism is bad, socialism takes away the liberty to decide how you wish to spend your money. In a socialist society, your money becomes the government's money. It will provide for you the things they think you need. The government shouldn't have the right to decide what makes you happy. That should be your choice. In socialism, the government rules the individual. In America today, we expect the government to serve the individual. In the article, Individualism versus Socialism, Herman Gazort mentions that the socialist concept prevents the very existence of the individual. In socialism, you will either be a leader or a slave. Secondly, socialism is a bad idea for our country because it removes the incentive to succeed. As stated by Rob Knowles in the article, socialism doesn't work as learned by a waiter. Humans run on incentive, and if you take that away, they fall apart. People are competitive by nature. A great example us students would understand is to imagine you just received your grade back from a test you studied long and hard for. You and half the class got A's while the other half got F's. But the teacher decides it'd be fair to give everyone C's. What would you think? As an A student who studied very hard to get that A, you now have to give your hard-earned work to someone who doesn't care or doesn't want to try for it. As the semester continues, these A students will stop trying. So what's the point in working hard if you don't get credit for your hard work? By the end of the semester, everyone fails because the incentive to do so is gone. When the reward is great, the effort to succeed is great. But when the government takes all that reward away, no one will try or want to succeed. In the article, Why Socialism Failed, Mark Perry states that socialism fails because it kills and destroys the human spirit. He says it best. Why are we working so hard to accomplish something when the government's going to crush our spirit and give our hard-earned money to everyone else? It's unfair. Finally, socialism is bad for us because the government will control all of the economic output. In the article, Why Socialism Failed, Mark Perry alludes to the fact that the government predetermines success and failure, and in return becomes a political issue. In America today, companies are privately owned. They can determine what they will make, the amount, and the cost of this product. If companies want to succeed, they know they have to put a quality product into the market. If America went to socialism, the government would determine who could own a business, what product they would make, and how much they would sell it for. In addition, the government would also control these prices. In a capitalist society, prices are based on supply and demand. If the people want it, they will pay more money for it. Under socialism, prices are controlled. In the same article, Mark Perry states that controlled prices are always distorted. They're either too high or too low. This creates constant shortages and surpluses. It's the role of the government to determine pricing levels. For example, today in America, we can go to the grocery store and buy however much bread we want, whenever we want. If we were a socialist society, we might not be able to buy bread for weeks because the government determined how much bread would be produced. As you see in the picture above, the grocery stores in America look full. If we were a socialist society, readily available products might be much more difficult to find. Many times, people in socialist countries have to stand in line for basic necessities, such as toilet paper and bread, and much more. To conclude, socialism might seem appealing, but when you break down the details, it's evident the harm it does to its citizens. Socialism is bad for America because a small group of individuals make decisions that limit the freedom individuals have over their lives. They will destroy the human spirit by taking away the incentives to succeed and control all economic output, which will lead to high prices and a scarcity of products and services. Socialism might fill the gap between rich and poor, making items available to all people, but it wipes out the inspiration to work hard and succeed. Our country was founded on life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness for its citizens. Socialism is a clear and present danger to the very idea on which our country began. Thank you.